Hello, Steve White, Steve 89. Well, I'm kind of mourning He-Man at the moment, like I think a lot of fans are. It's pretty much been confirmed at this point that Masters of the Universe Revelations is basically a Teela spin-off. And like most spin-offs, it features all the original characters in the beginning to get you in, and then it delivers you new characters, and then you basically are supposed to go off and follow them. And that's something that people don't seem to be able to grasp. I'm kind of shocked that people are still arguing against this and saying that people like me are lying or deluded or man babies or, basically making this up. I mean, apparently these people can't read. The official synopsis is available, and it's mostly for the first episode, but it's for the overall series as well. And apparently people just don't want. I think these people are actually hired by the networks, by Netflix and that, to actually shoot down fans who are, sort of catching on to what the show is about, because they're trying to sell this show, and they know one way to sell this show is to sell it like it's a continuation of the original series. That's what we were promised. We were promised a new He-Man series that was going to continue on from the original series with the same characters and the same canon and everything. And this was very exciting. We got very excited about it. We expected this. We wanted this. We always wanted the show to continue. We sort of didn't mind the 2002 reboot because it was very true to the original, but really we just wanted to see the original series continue and maybe have the characters and the stories evolve and have some revelations and some conclusions and stuff, and that was something that we wanted. And they promised that because they know if you tell, fans like me that they're going to get that, they'll come and watch it. And they don't care if you get there and you're disappointed when they don't deliver it. They don't care if they don't deliver what they promise, as long as you go there, as long as you buy your subscription, as long as the advertisers see that you're there, and they see the views and everything. That's all they care about. They're just marketing this thing. They don't care about long term. They don't care if you're not going to return because you weren't happy about what you saw. They're not going to care about the fact that you're not going to buy the products because, you're basically protesting, which I'm basically going to be doing. I probably won't be buying any of the new He-Man figures because of what they did. So, I just don't know. Here's the synopsis for those people who don't appear to be able to read. After a cataclysmic battle between He-Man and Skeletor, which is what the preview was, Eternia is fractured and the Guardians of Grayskull are scattered. And after decades of secrets tore them apart, it's up to Teela to reunite the broken band of heroes and solve the mystery of the missing sword of power in a race against time to restore Eternia and prevent the end of the universe. So what we saw in that preview, which everyone's going on and saying, no, see, you're wrong, He-Man's in it, he's everywhere. And I'm like, yeah, he's in the first episode. Before, that's the bait. And the switch is when they get rid of him and they give the series to Teela and she goes off and has the series, basically. Now, I loved Teela when I watched the show. Like, the main characters were He-Man, Teela, or He-Man Prince Adam, Teela, and Man-at-Arms. They were the main characters. Oh, Cringer and Orko, but they were the main characters. And Teela was kick-ass. Everyone liked her. There was no issue. And that's why She-Ra almost seemed a little unnecessary, because we had this female, strong female who was equal to the other characters. There wasn't really an issue, but then we had She-Ra as well. So He-Man was one of the few series who really didn't need a woke reboot, because he had a twin sister who was just as powerful as him, who had her own series, her own villains, her own people. They could have just done a proper action She-Ra series, but they didn't. So basically, Kevin Smith lied. He's a liar. People like me came out, because when this came out in the PowerCon presentation like 2 years ago, this synopsis was read out and on the screen and photographed, and people like me saw it. We all said, this series is about Teela. They're lying to us. And people turned around and said, you're a man baby. You're a liar. You just want to hate the series. Blah blah blah. You don't want a woman to have a series. I'm like, I'm fine if they did a Teela spin-off and called it like Teela's Tale or something like that. Fine, but don't do that and pretend it's a He-Man series to try and get me to pay to get in on it, just to be disappointed. That's basically what they've done. So, I just don't know what to think about the whole thing. It's disappointing. It's just so unnecessary. Like I said, they could have just done He-Man. They just did a She-Ra series, so she had her own series again. She had her own series back in the day. All they had to do was give us a real He-Man series and do a She-Ra series as well. Or do a spin-off and call it what it is. Or do a series, buy the rights or lease the rights or negotiate with whoever has the rights to She-Ra, because that's the other problem. They probably want to do a She-Ra series, but they couldn't get the rights because they belong to a different company. Somehow they got separated in the 80s or the 90s, and they haven't been able to do a She-Ra series for ages. So it's just unfortunate, but they probably want to do a She-Ra series and they couldn't. So we'll take He-Man's name and we'll use it and we'll do a Teela series instead. And because just the idea of doing a He-Man series, apparently they just couldn't or wouldn't do it. So, and Screen Rant again confirmed this again. There was a Netflix event called Geeked Week, which had, I went for a week obviously, and then day 4, Kevin Smith was on there, and he actually states, someone asked him about the title, and he actually states, and some people missed this I think, that the show is called He-Man Revelations, Masters Universe Revelations, because it's about Teela's revelation of her identity, of the sorceress and all that was kept for her, and also the revelation of Prince Adam, because apparently and she felt betrayed by Prince Adam, because apparently what's going to happen is He-Man's going to lose his power sword, he's going to lose his powers, so it's going to be reverted back to Prince Adam. Teela's going to find out that she was lied to the whole time, and she's going to be angry, and the series is going to be about her anger at him and her learning who her identity is, and that she basically should have the power of Grayskull because she's the sorceress's daughter, and the sorceress is in Grayskull. I can't remember what her role was exactly. She was like the keeper of it. But yeah, so that's what the whole series is about. Kevin Smith admitted that early on, or I don't know if that was an old article that came up or if that just happened. I'm under the impression that had happened a while ago and people just missed it. But it might have actually been a recent interview. I couldn't find the original. I was just looking at other things. So yeah, basically, it's just so frustrating. It didn't need to be done. They could have done a real He-Man series. They could have given us what the trailer looks like and let us be happy and done a She-Ra series, or had She-Ra in the show. Like I said, they could have negotiated the rights with whatever company's got it and brought She-Ra into the series and had He-Man and She-Ra fighting side by side. Equality, diversity, representation. Everyone's happy. But no, it's going to be us who aren't happy, and yeah. So yeah, I'm done. I just really wanted to comment on that, because it's very frustrating for a couple of years. Like, my first video got a few thousand views and some people agreed with me, but a lot of people attacked me and said, you're wrong, you're a hater, you're just making this up, you're just here for clickbait, you just want attention, blah, 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 and just wouldn't acknowledge the truth of the situation or anything. And it's really frustrating. So now, almost 2 years later, because this was August 2019 when I did the first video, it's kind of nice to be vindicated now and to know that you were right and you weren't wrong. You weren't making an assumption or jumping to any conclusions, and you're being proven right. And just still to see people refusing to acknowledge it is kind of baffling. Like I said, read the synopsis. It's right there. And that existed 2 years ago. I thought maybe for a second they might have seen that initial reaction and changed the series, and maybe it wasn't going to be what it is, but they never did. It is what it is. It is what the synopsis said, what the whole plan was the whole time. And it's all about Teela, it's all about her emotions, it's all about her learning who she is, her journey, and He-Man's not involved. Kevin Smith did say that the series was all about He-Man. So if Teela's whole journey is to try and save He-Man and get the power sword back before she knows that it's hers, because she's who she is, and the power of Grayskull belongs to her, then in theory, it is about He-Man. But he's stretching, he's basically lying, and yeah, it's just disappointing. I got excited. I got almost as excited about that as I did about Twin Peaks getting a third season. But the fact that went so bad, I did pull back a little bit and go, just wait and see what they do first. And then only took a couple of days before I found out about the Teela situation. And it didn't bother me initially because Teela was a big part of the series. But I assumed it'd be Teela and He-Man, just to realise they haven't just elevated Teela. They've removed He-Man and replaced him with Roid Rage Teela, basically. It's just disappointing. And I guess I'll watch it, I'll criticise it, I'll never watch it again, and I won't buy merchandise from it, and I'll just be waiting for someone to do a proper continuation of He-Man. Much like I'm waiting for someone to do a proper Star Trek series. I just hope it happens one day. I'm going to keep waiting, and I'll see you all later. So feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks. Bye.